So, psychology has it that for human beings to truly be happy in life, they need to experience happiness, wholeness, and wellness in about four areas of their lives. Number one is physically. You have to be physically okay, you have to be sound, you have to be well, you don't have to have any health issues and all of that. Number two area is spiritually. Yes, you have to be spiritually whole, you have to be in tune with your creator, you have to be able to connect spiritually and all of that. Number three is financially. You have to have money to be able to meet your needs, to be able to solve challenges, to be able to take care of issues and all of that. And then number four is emotionally. You have to be emotionally sound, and like we all know that your emotions affect your mental well-being. Your mental well-being in turn affects your emotions, and just like that. Now, as parents, especially in this part of the world, we succeed in training our children in all the other aspects. We teach our children how to take care of themselves physically, how to take care of their health, how to healthy habits, hygiene, what to do when they have certain issues and all of that. We do well in teaching our children how to pray, how to get involved in spiritual activities and all of that. We do well to give our children the right kind of education so that they can be financially stable and all of that. But one aspect that is actually lacking is the emotional aspect. We really don't take our time to teach our children how to be emotionally sound, how to be emotionally balanced, because to a very large extent, majority of us parents even do not are having issues, in that particular area. Like the saying goes, you really cannot give what you don't have. Some parents feel that, yeah, that they are doing well in that regard, but in a nutshell, there is still much learning that majority of us as parents have to do in that regard. So today I'll be paying attention on teaching our children how to express emotions. It's actually a very important aspect of a person's life, because like I said, it affects our mental well-being. There's so much these days going on about people taking care of their mental health and all of that. So like I said, now people show emotions in basically three ways. You can express your emotions either through aggression. We see a lot of that. We see children that they usually have anger outbursts when they are angry. They throw tantrums, they hit their heads, they fight, they are biting, they are pinching and all of that. That is how they know how to show their own emotions. And aggression is actually gotten either through nature or nurture. Nature in the sense that if you are aggressive, tendencies are that your own children will also take some of your aggressive tendencies. um Two, nurture. Children, like I said, they absorb what they see. If they have parents or adults around them that their own ways of expressing their own emotions, showing emotions is by violence, through aggression, tendencies are that children will pick these aggressive behaviors too. And sometimes too, it could actually be mental health issues that will need mental help. Will need medical intervention and all of that. Another way children express emotions, show emotions rather, is through repression. Repression is them not even acknowledging the fact that the emotion is there. They keep suppressing, dissociating themselves from the emotion, from what exactly it is they are feeling. And no child is actually born that way. Children, when you give birth to babies, when they are crying, when they are uncomfortable, they show it. But over time, probably with the way they were brought up, with the kind of the kind of responses they get from their parents, they begin to withdraw, they begin to suppress their emotions. And such repression, such emotional tendencies, they usually have negative effects. Children will show repression when you minimize their feelings. Probably as children they are growing, yes, they show emotions, and they come to you, probably something bad happens to them, and you just, like the normal parent, because we feel that children disturb a lot. So when they come to you and they are complaining, you just go sorry, and that is the end. You really don't take time to listen. They talk and you go, oh, sorry. Once you keep telling the child sorry, after a while, sorry really doesn't do much. It may help for like a 2-year-old. When you tell them sorry, it pacifies them, and to a very large extent is enough for them. But for the majority, for older children, you dismissing their emotions, you just tell them sorry, it really doesn't do much for them. So over time, they learn not to come to you, they learn to just absorb it, they learn not to express, because they feel that there's really nothing you are going to do to help them. Another reason children repress their emotions is when you begin to compare them. A child comes to you and is complaining of pain, and then you'll be like, what is even wrong with you? You're no longer a baby. Look at your mate. Whenever something happens to them, they don't do this, they don't do that. Look at your twin brother, look at your neighbor, look at your this. You begin to compare them, especially with children their own age. It makes them withdraw. They begin to repress their emotions. They don't have that boldness to come to you anymore to express their emotions, and then it becomes a part of them. Children will also repress emotions if they come to you, and you punish them. Yes, there are some parents that do that. A child is coming to express emotions, a child is coming to do this, and probably having issues with a classmate, and the child is coming to express what happened to you, and the child is crying. You beat the child. You look at the child. How can you be crying for your mate, and then you begin to beat the child? You begin to do all sorts. Maybe the child comes to you, somebody calls him a certain name and is crying, and instead of we as parents to intervene, we punish the child. You start asking the child, are you a mumu? Are you so dull? Are you so slow? You understand? You begin to call the child names. When we do that, over time these children learn to just withdraw, and they really don't want to share their emotions with people. Or when you're too busy, you're not really a parent that is present, you're too busy for your children. Sometimes they want to talk to you, you don't have time. You always tell them to come back, or you are there like you are not there, and all of that. These are things that make children to just begin to repress their emotions, and over time it becomes a part of them. And emotions need to be expressed. The more you keep them inside, the more damage it does to the person's character, the more damage it does to the person's health, the more damage it does, especially for negative emotions, the more damage it does to the person's emotional and psychological mental well-being. That's why you find out that for children or for adults that grew up repressing such emotions, one of the negative effects is the fact that such people are they have tendencies of getting depressed more easily than any other person, because they keep bottling everything inside. It keeps eating them up. The sadness, unhappiness grows to sadness, sadness continues to grow, and it becomes depression. Their anger is just within them, it's just growing inside of them until eventually it explodes, and they are depressed and begin to show all form of dangerous and harmful tendencies to themselves. Also, another negative effect of people who are prone to repression is that they find it difficult to seek help. What they have grown with. They grew up with them bottling up everything inside. They bottle up their pain, they bottle up their happiness, all of their emotions just remains inside. So as much as possible, they are not used to coming to people to talk to them anymore when they have issues. So even as adults, when they grow and they have issues, it becomes a problem for them to seek help. They are just there dying in silence, and really nobody is supposed to live that kind of life. Also, people who are prone to repressing their emotions are generally unhappy people. And the truth of the matter is, life is meant to be enjoyed. Life isn't meant to be endured. So we have a lot of work to do as parents, if our goal is to raise happy children. They usually have low self-esteem. Yes, they have self-esteem issues too, because it's when you have gotten used to holding your emotions within you. The children have grown, they have tried to express, and their parents have either dismissed or ignored or minimized or even punished them for the emotions they were showing. They begin to feel that they are the ones that have these problems. And unfortunately, if I may add this, the category of people, of children, that suffer this repression the most are probably older children. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, we have parents that have kids. We really don't, a lot of parents don't space their children. You see, like, there's 2 years gaps and all of that. You even see much, let me not even go there, that two years gap. So the older child becomes like a mini parent. The first children, most especially, becomes like a mini parent. So most times there's the that tenderness that parents have for all the other children. You see, the tenderness they have, especially for the last children, is completely on another level for the kind of relationship, the kind of tenderness they have for the first children. So over time, the child is burdened with so much responsibilities. The children are not allowed to express themselves, because the parent will feel you are the oldest, you cannot be this soft, you cannot be this weak, you understand. So over time, these children tend to bottle up a whole lot. It happens to other children too, but most times, most first children, most older children are usually victims of this kind of treatment. Also, we hear a lot of parents, tell male children, um, man it up, boys don't cry. I see that as a very wrong bringing. Everybody should be allowed to express their emotions. It's okay to cry as a boy. It's okay to let it all out. If you feel pain, let it out. There is no law anywhere that says when men cry it means they are weak. As a matter of fact, I feel showing emotions is actually a sign of strength. It takes a lot for you to be able to talk about what you're going through. It takes a lot for you to be vulnerable. Vulnerability when you are in pain, is not a sign of weakness. You let it all out and you are better. It's actually very healthy, psychologically, mentally, emotionally. It's healthy for you to have a good cry, even as adults.